Like, what should we continue to go on the topic, or should we just take a break and just do a little bit of 10-minute meditation? I'll introduce you. If you have never done meditation, that is okay. And I keep bringing up meditation because meditation and the unconditional love, these are the two technical instruments for us to get into to see the positive reality, because I'm only looking at it like what it takes us to succeed in this life or experience, in whichever way you can call. And these are the two formulas that I could found so far. That is the reason I just wanted to introduce. Does not mean that we'll become an experts in this way. Just over the period, then we can see. And again, based on your interest, I can share you some meditation programs that goes on. But I just wanted to take away the preconceived notions of what is meditation is all about. So at least that point wanted to talk about. So if anyone has an objection, tell me, I can stop it. Otherwise, I can just talk about it if you're okay with that.
Sorry, I just entered the meeting, so I don't know
Yes.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm saying that can we just go a short meditation? I'll explain you what is meditation and what to do. If you are already familiar, then I don't have to explain, but I'm just trying to say it is helpful. And I can definitely, I can basically, I'm one of those case studies that how meditation helps me. But not that I'm selling meditation, because meditation is a device or a technical instrument that is actually given to mankind. So I'm just only trying to offer you as an option. See if you guys are okay with that.
I would be more interested in hearing about you go on about this because it feels like we are already short of time. And
Okay.
yeah, meditation, of course, probably it is a good thing. I agree, but
Some
at
other.
the moment,
Okay. Okay. Got it.
I mean, that's mine. But if others are in for it,
Anyone
yeah.
else? Anyone else have any preference? I mean, thanks for the candid feedback. Ultimately, it is a group discussion, right? It's not like we going to the paid workshop that we have to listen to someone's agenda. No, whatever we want, we'll discuss about it. So, anyone else has any other or any of you? Okay, I think in the interest of time, since not really sure anything, so let's continue on this journey. And Pradibha madam, you can chime in. I am apologies, I haven't given you enough space to talk about it, but you just go, we'll talk about it. I know this is like a ocean of information that we can talk about, but yeah. So you can, I think, do you wanted to add more color onto the birth plan, or should we add something? Anything is your choice.
Um, yeah, I am. Yeah, so I wanted to add just one thing that about the karma, right? And I wanted to add it, and I want, if you are not getting much about from this, at least get this one thing, and that is, it's not your fault, it's not your punishment, especially, and it's not a curse.
Yeah.
Because I have heard many of our parents um, telling, like my friend's parent, they are Brahmins, and their parents told, this is your karma and you have to go through this. And once you go through this, you will attain a different level of something. That's a very, very wrong concept. That's a concept that is created by human beings, which is very wrong, which is not right. And many near-death experiencers have come back to life, and they have told that this is very wrong. So if you hear that from our family members or from our parents, please don't take it to your heart, and please don't take it in a sense that I am punished. So none of us are punished. This is not a punishment at all for us. We are not going through this as a punishment. That is one thing. And another thing is, this is not a curse either. So it takes time for you to get this concept into your life, into your being, into your everyday practical life. But I would like and encourage you all, because that's where your power is. Understanding that there is a greater plan into this, and there is a greater thing that is going on beyond our understanding right now. But you are going to understand as Praveen is going to help you all. But then this is definitely not your punishment. This is definitely not your karma, bad karma and good karma. And I wanted to just like 2 minutes I want to take, if that is okay for Praveen.
Yeah, it's just
So,
again.
for example, I would like to take one person, or I can take, like, for example, we can take, let's say, Princess Diana. Okay, so Princess Diana has come into this world, and she's beautiful, she's charismatic, she is a lot of things, right? Positive. And that doesn't mean that her good karma has given her the beauty. It's not that. And it's not that her bad karma gave her Charles as her husband. She had a plan to enter into the monarchy, to do certain things, to collapse certain things, to make certain things different. So that's why she is born, maybe. So she needs that charisma, she needs that beauty, so she needs that intelligence, public appearance, to set the stage, to do certain things that needs to be done. So there is no good karma or bad karma playing, but what is playing behind the scene is a plan. It's a so I hope you understand that.
Yeah.
So when
Actually, Pratibha ji, this is Sheetal.
Come again?
Yep. Go ahead, please.
This is Sheetal. I think we're trying to judge the life of somebody in terms of what their design was, right? But I think there's a lot more to it versus, like, we as a human being judging the lifespan of somebody, like what their intention and motive was, right? And from the karma part of this, the karma theory is real. I mean, I do attest to the fact that, like, whatever is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, whatever the little knowledge that I have, it is real. But the way it is represented, as you said, like, people saying that this is because of your karma that this is happening, or people are basically blaming karmas for something, right? That is wrong, definitely. That is, like, that is the wrong approach to go or look towards, right? Same thing goes around the curses as well, right? But there is more to the design, like, apart from karma, like, what you do as a conscious being, right? That is also like the sheer will of the person, right? Along with what you basically carry over, the burden that you carry over from your past lives, right? Like, there are definition of debt, right? Like the karmic debts, you can call them as karmic debts, or duty debts, and a lot of other things. Like, there are 100 things that you can, hundreds of possibilities, or multi-dimensional possibilities with this, right? But yeah,
I'll right, if you put everything together, I'll
right.
try to put them into two buckets. One, some kind of a debt, karmic debt that you wanted to offset.
Right.
Even better word is cause and effect, right? You wanted to offset. That is one dimension. The
Right.
second one, you wanted to learn a new subject. This is why the engineering example trying to give, because you have some backlogs. You have to clear the backlogs. Without clearing your backlogs, you are not going to be engineer.
Yes.
That's
Then
the karmic part.
that
Karmic part.
that's the right thing. And basically, we have to be like clear in our mind, right?
Yes. But yeah,
What are the different things versus like getting stuck into certain judgment with respect to how the design is, right?
correct. Correct.
Because we cannot judge like the overall design of the universe, like how it is progressing and how it is working together, right? It's beyond our, I think, comprehension, I would say.
And see, again, rather than using a subject to data, right? All I'm trying to say is I come back to autism, right? Because that is our core discussion.
Right.
If you look at it, there are again two elements. One is the backlog part, which is a karmic. Second one is voluntarily, I wanted to go. Like I finished my engineering. I want to do a PhD. Much more difficult subjects, right? This is something that is not a karma. That's a design. I'm trying to differentiate a backlog versus moving on to next subject.
Yes.
So, which is basically means you voluntarily chosen this subject. Why did you choose? As a soul evaluation, you wanted to progress. So why we are emphasizing on the design part, so that no one should have a guilt feeling. No one should have
Yeah.
no one
That's
should
the thing.
have,
I
yeah,
totally
that is what
agree
I'm
that,
trying to emphasize.
yeah, we should not have guilt about, hey, oh, we did something wrong, or oh, we did like, we were cursed or whatever, like,
Yeah, but
that
we
should
will
not be
have,
there.
see, Sheetal,
Yeah.
we will have those feelings if we don't
Yep.
understand the track. See,
Yeah.
I can tell hundreds of times, thousands of times, people will have the feeling unless they understand the reality. It's like, okay, not should, if someone is, see, almost every our extended family member, everyone says, no, don't worry, everything happens good. We know that their intentions are good, but does not mean anything, because we know that unless if someone is clearly saying, this is your soul plan, this is your design, then it becomes different. Oh, is it my choice? Automatically will not, your situation hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But
Basically,
to
you
react to
need a
the
different,
situation,
need a different paradigm to look at the things, right, in reality versus like basically going with the, what do you call, the established facts, or how people try to establish like different notions with respect to what could be this or what could be that, right? Looking at like with a fresh set of eyes.
Can I interfere, Sheetal? So the point that Praveen and myself are trying to make here is, it is not a punishment. So we have been taught, you have this child, or let's even leave, or anything bad happens. Let's say you have cancer tomorrow, right? And then somebody says, it's his karma, a bad karma, or he's punished because he did something bad, or somebody says this is a curse. It's not a punishment from the other side, or there is nobody on the other side who is, oh, you did this, go to earth and you go through this and come back, and then everything is erased. It's not working like that. So
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Totally
okay,
understand. Like,
so now how is it working, right? So what is working and how it is working? Let's say you, in the previous 1,000 lives you lived here, you did certain things that are not at the best interest of others. Okay, now, which means you had more anger, or you had more some other issues. Now you are sitting there with counselors, ascended masters, guide, angels, source. You're sitting with them and you're discussing, I failed in this area. And then you all are sitting and discussing how, oh, I should have done this, but I didn't know that. Okay, so how do you think you can learn this? I think if I have this situation in place, then I can learn this concept. Okay, so that is one area. Like this, in the 1,000 life, you would have, like, that's what Praveen is telling, backlog. You have many areas, and then you choose one life either on planet Earth or in another like galaxy, maybe in Alpha Centaurian or
Another plane.
Arcturian or some
Yeah.
other place, planets, and
Yeah.
then you choose your group, soul group, like 15 people or something, and you guys all sit there and plan, and they will also come with their plan. So it's a massive plan that goes on behind the scenes. And then you are coming here to learn certain areas, and at the same time to experience new things and to do some new things good for planet Earth or something
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
that.
Basically, you're taking a journey onto new path in every life, and you're learning some lessons and moving on to the next one. So I'm totally on that, like with you guys. This my comment is not against what is being discussed. Like my comment is in general that there are things which is beyond our what you call consciousness or comprehension, right? There are so many different dimensions, so many different possibilities, right? With respect to how the design is.
Yeah.
That is
So
what I'm trying to
because
say.
we forget it, right? See, I mean, to be honest, that design is actually, we are the designers, we are the architects, right? No one else has done it.
Mm-hmm.
Only difference is we forget it. That is by choice. So because we forget it, because we don't remember it, now we are trying to understand who the hell actually planned this life for us because we don't know it. The game of meditation, game of many other like PLR, Akashic records is to figure out. So that's why
Absolutely. Yep.
as a PLR or Akashic records helps is what is the plan? But before getting into the PLR or Akashic records, you have to understand the game. It is, see, you can always look at the CCTV to see whose fault is it. But before that, you have to understand the game, whether it is a cricket or a baseball or whatsoever it is. Once you understand the cricket rules, that's why we're trying to understand the theoretical concepts. Then go through that journey of a PLR versus Akashic records or anything. Then so that you can make use of it. Otherwise, it becomes a waste exercise. So first understand, okay, what is this blueprint? The soul plan is all about. Soul plan, soul design, depending on the terminologies. How do we plan? How do we create these so-called the traditional problems? But what are we experiencing? But ultimately, it is all about experiencing. Because as a souls, I'm sure we are very powerful people. It's just that we don't know ourselves. At this point, we feel like as if we don't know anything, but we are very powerful people. And we can actually connect with our oneness, ourselves. That's the advantage with the meditation because you don't really need to go for an external party like PLR or an Akashic record or someone. If you're conscious of yourself through the meditation or anything, you can always, your higher self, which is basically, again, I gave the example of a satellite station and the rocket, right? You launch a satellite, you're always, the ground stuff is always there to ready. What kind of a signals coming in, ready to respond. Like, remember the Chandrayaan example, where there was a last minute, there was a communication gone. You cannot do anything about it. Entire nation is watching, but couldn't save that particular satellite, right? That is exactly our situation. We feel, oh God, what happened? No, I mean, there are so many guards out there. No one is actually running after, but it is not. There's so many guards waiting for us to wake up, just to wake up. Okay. I can give this with much more detailed examples. There's so many books, so much of a knowledge and wisdom is available over there, but it becomes a too heavy. So that's why we are going step by step. All right. So, the takeaways are, it is our design. It is not a punishment. We'll get to the details of how exactly is designed, why it is not a punishment. But for the time being, I want at least the people whoever have that feeling, just get out of the guilt or a shame or angry or against God, all of that feelings, right? Natural. Possibly get out of that. Because why am I so particular about it? Without that those are blocks, right? You see this example, right? in the chakras, because if you have a fear, your survival is blocked. That means your Mooladhara is blocked. Your Mooladhara is not going to be activated. Why is Mooladhara is activated? Again, we'll come to that. Guilt. Your Swadhisthana is activated, not going to be activated. Shame. We have a feeling of a shame because in my family, no one else is there. I'm the only one who's having this. How can I survive in the family? I know these are our Indians. We always poke into everyone's nose. That's our nature. Luckily, we are living in US. That's advantage. At least people don't really poke into our lives. But we have an extended families. We always have that. What happens when we have a shame feeling? That is going to block your Manipura chakra, right? Similarly, grief. You will never be able to open up your Anahata chakra, the heart chakra. Why do we need these chakras? These chakras will help us in manifesting the results that you wanted. It's like this. You are deprived of chocolate, but in order to get a chocolate, you need to do something. So you're like locking yourself up. That was the reason all the discussion, at least my post in any group, will always about only two agendas. How can I help them to get out of their this anger, fear, or guilt thing? Okay. Even if they don't take a spirituality, that is okay. But just the only action item is come out of the fear or a guilt or a shame or grief. That is the first thing. Because first take out the negative. And the second one is the choice, right? There are technical instruments like a meditation, which will help us to connect to oneself. And you can ask question, you'll get an answer. You don't really, as long as it is going to be helpful. Okay. And it is not a mythology or anything. Of course, in the olden days, all our rishis and munishis do it. Right now, Earth is going through a lot of a transformation. That is an advantage for us. That's why a lot of artistic kids are coming. But we don't get to that. What is artism versus Earth transformation at this point? Especially, we already spent a lot of time. Maybe next conversation. That is time right for us for a meditation or increasing our consciousness, because it used to take a long time to get into that levels of energy earlier. Now the energy levels are easy. We could easily do the meditation. The meditation as a process becomes easy, and we are warriors. Again, I think in the beginning of the conversation, I said, my son's name is Shaurya. Shaurya is a warrior. Why warrior is autism? Because only warriors can take autism plants, autism or any other similar plants, because these are not jujube plants, right? This requires some more courage. And Shaurya by nature is a warrior, okay, in my example, but I'm sure all our kids are the same, right? We can just have a different names. So the only two takeaways from this conversation would be assume that it is a design, or accept that it is your design, come out of the grief or guilt or anything, and try to embrace the meditation. Maybe time did not permit. I know we have spent, now it is almost 8:30 Eastern, right? So we'll go over this topic again next time. But before we conclude, because again, it is never ending, are there any specific questions? I know I've not done justice to the Akashic records. I'm just being guilty on that. So don't blame me. Only reason is I really want to explain the life drama, because that is more useful. While Akashic records it is.
And I wanted to add to, sorry for interrupting. I really want to add and encourage what Praveen has, the message that Praveen is putting out. It's extremely important to come out of shame, guilt, anger, grief, feeling bad, it is extremely important. And he has put it in a very positive and very easy actually way, because that is kind of the first step that we as parents of autism child should take to enter into the spiritual place. And I like to just give one thing before I finish. The one way that you can use is gratitude. So feeling gratitude is the first step of spirituality, of what you have, because you did not come here with nothing. That's just impossible. we came with something good and something challenging, and we must be feeling gratitude for for the things that's going on. So doing one of the exercise that I encourage you is have a jar which you can name it as a gratitude jar, and you can write down Monday to Friday, you can write down just one thing that you are gratitude about that day. And you can put it in that jar, and Saturday and Sunday, you can reflect on that.
Yep. That is very well said, madam. And the reason why we need to have a gratitude, well, of course, it opens up a spiritual door. Another is it changes from negative to the positive.
Mm-hmm.
And why I should be positive? Who care? Why do we care? Law of attraction. If you think about negative, universe only, again, the unconditional love, right? Understand the definition of unconditional love. If you think I want to be negative, okay, universe thinks that, okay, these people only needs negative. Okay, let's throw more and more negative situations, because universe does not understand. The language of vibration is how do you resonate? Again, if you look at the size, right? Emotions, energy in motions. If you are throwing a negative energy in motion, okay, universe will only continue to give me tons of negative situations. Just by, and there is another characteristics that I did not explain on the energy. One of the fundamental characteristics of the energy is wherever your attention goes, energy goes. You pay attention to negative thoughts, that's how the negative situations comes in. That's why the law of attraction. You pay attention to the positive thought, only positive comes in. So let's say autism is a bad thing, but instead of looking at autism, why my kid does not do it, look at as a positively. How, okay, some you could even whatever is right now happening, like let's say your kid laughs very well, very happily. Something, again, take any examples. Just cherish those moments, because that is true. You're not faking, and that is a positive moment. Then automatically more and more positives comes up. That is one. Manifestation is the second. We'll talk about the manifestations along with the meditation maybe some other time, because that is a little more different on this. So, Madam, please, you wanted to say something. Maybe we'll, yeah, please talk about it, and then after that we can close it. Just only again.
Yeah, the one thing I wanna connect about the beginning, what I said, which is going to encourage all of you. We are all of us. Every being is part from the source. We are powerful. If you cannot meditate, don't think I'm not able to meditate, so I am not connected to the other side. I am not connected to the source. I am not good enough. No, we all are part of the source. If we need information from the other side, it is coming to us in some way or the other. Like for me, for the past 10 years, I had downloaded of messages from the other side. Like it's so paranormal for me. I don't know meditation. I am a Christian, so we do prayers, but we don't do meditation. So I didn't do prayers either because of my life situation. But then download. So download of information. All this information, I got it from straight from the other side, most of them. So please don't think I have to do meditation, I have to pray, I have to sit and do this, that, this. Even if you're unable to do anything, your soul is part of the source, and it's very, very, very powerful. And what you need is given to you already, and it's coming to you in some form or the other from the other side. So don't worry about those things either, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Well said, ma'am. Please, again, you wanted
Yeah,
to raise your hands. Yeah.
yeah. So to sum it up, I kind of understand that be it what Praveen is saying or Pradeepa, what they are saying is, okay, you need to remove all these emotions associated with this, because this is your being, this is your plan with which you have come in. So logically, there are two things which I'm not able to understand. So one is, if you're a subset of a universal soul, and if you're a fragment of it, and if this is what these are the lessons if you're a fragment of something so supreme, obviously you have everything in it, maybe in a small instance. So why is it that every fragment needs different lessons? And why do you need lessons in the first case when the knowledge is already available with the supreme? So this is very confusing. It's like you're saying
Okay.
one is
As
equal to
So
two, but two
let
is
me
not equal to
explain
one.
that. Yeah, I was about to say that in the beginning, and then we got diverted. So the soul, initially, we are all part of the little, like I said, source is the ocean, and we are one drop from it. So what the source did in the beginning, this is all the beginning of the beginning. Okay, when we were all together with the source, what happened was the source divided into one drop, which is all of us, and requested us to go and explore and experience. And what it exactly means, I don't know that initial plan. So an experience. So what happened? Now we are all experiencing. There is a day that's coming sometime in the future or billions of years from now when we all will be connected to the source back again. So I was about to say this in the beginning, but then I got diverted. So
Another sorry. Yep. Good. Please.
So and this is why I said, like, this is from many religious scriptures, many NDE people who had near death experiences from across the board. Okay, so this is not something, this is kind of like valid. So when I speak, I like to see the validity because this is spiritual and we don't know, right? So from ancient text that is like 1000, now I am following like 1200 AD text, some of the text to find out. So the validity of this is really, really true. So please don't worry. We are all going to be united one day or someday. But is it all of us going to be united with the source on one day? No. Some of us are going to be united with the source earlier. Some of us are going to be united a little bit later. But the ultimate plan of the source, when the source divided us, is to connect all of us together later. So we will all be with the source. We are not lost. We are not going to be in hell. We are not going to be in a frying pot where we are going to be fried every day. No, that's all wrong.
Yeah.
It's all completely man-made. And is there a heaven with gold platforms? No. So we are going to be part of the source.
Right.
So this is from a lot of ancient text as well. And the source knows what's going on also. Like, it's not like all unknown. And every thought that we are thinking is recorded on the other side.
Yeah, that is called Akashic records, or you can
Yeah,
call
every thought that you're thinking is recorded. So can you imagine? And one step further I will go. Sorry for taking time, because I want to really encourage you and be very positive, Every thought that we are thinking is important.
Yes, that's right.
That is why it is recorded.
You have to think positive only when you feel conditional. That is the reason you needed to get out of the greed and all. So there are so many reasons why you should come out of the fear, grief, anger. Because if you are angry, you only talk negative only. So that gets negative. So it gets accumulated. That's why this karma gets complicated. So it's like it continues to go on. But anyway, I'll talk about one more topic, one more question answer that Madam asked with regards to why do you have to experience, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a super billionaire. The moment you wake up, hundreds of varieties of a cuisine is actually served at you, right? You'll always pick it up. Do you ever know what hungry means? You will never understand what hunger means. Because before even you wake up, you get everything. At a soul level, everyone is at a bliss, not even just a happy, right? It is a bliss state. Everyone is happy. You to understand what is anger or what is this, all other dimensions, it is a contrast. You choose this plan so that you experience contrast. The moment, let's say, you're not fed up, you're not fed maybe 2 days, then you know what is hunger means. Because, okay, so I hope that helps you why you chose a contrast plans, because it's not a punishment. It's like you want to experience what hungry means.
So one more key important metaphysical concept is when you leave planet Earth, all the emotions that you carried here will be written in your soul.
Yes.
And that's the record you are holding it for birth after birth after birth. That is your soul's imprint. And when you go and plug yourself in the source, all these emotional experiences will be going and plugging into the source. So now can you understand why we need these experiences? Because this is what is going to be our soul's imprint. I don't know if I'm confusing or making sense. I don't know.
I mean, where I am, it doesn't make much sense to me at the moment because probably there's a lot which needs to be done in this regard, a lot of study and whatever. But I still fail to understand basic things like uh, so if this is an imprint, and suppose now I have this knowledge that whatever my thoughts are going to be an imprint for my next life, and what if I don't want to carry it? What if I want to corrupt my disk? What if I want to start as a clean state? I mean, this is like, it's like a video game wherein I have no options, and it's like you have no control, and I
You
don't
have
know,
a
you feel
control,
like
madam. That is the reason we needed to be
you're
conscious.
like a puppet.
See, in our mind has two parts: conscious mind and subconscious mind. Conscious mind is a purely creative. It doesn't really have any preconceived notion. Subconscious mind is like what you said, recorder. It just keeps playing the same thing again and again. That's the reason we need to be aware. Why do we need to be aware? So that you will not be thinking the same pre-programmed way, that same negative way. So you are freshly creating your own right. So you, as you said, right? Is there a way to actually rewrite or fresh start with fresh? That is called consciousness. And one of the mechanism, again going back to, is one of the tools is a meditation. But again, this meditation is not a product that I came up with. I'm not going to sell it. It is
No,
just
because every time you say meditation, I can only think of sleeping. So I honestly,
no. Sleep is
so
not going to work. Of course.
I know.
But
But
second, see, we won't.
but I'm at that rudimentary level is what I'm trying to
It's okay.
say.
No. Don't worry. Everyone starts at the same level. Okay. Over the period of physics, we'll go through a couple of conversations. We'll figure out the right time slot. I can, at least I'm confident that I can answer all of your questions, what you asked. But what do I know whether I can crack autism? I mean, I can crack autism, that I know confident, but do I have an answer to how to crack it? Not there yet. So, but I know all of the questions that you answer, I mean, that you're asking.
Yeah, in
So,
the chat also, that's what I asked. Like, if this is a plan we have, and if this is something we want to experience, we see 2-year-olds passing away with cancer. As a 2-year-old, you're an infant. You're not even a toddler. Like you're
it's not a
until less than
punishment.
2 years is like. No, I'm not saying it's a punishment. I'm not saying it is. I mean, I understand. It's not a punishment. It's not guilt. It's not anything. It's something we choose. But when we choose a plan like that, and as a baby, you're not even conscious of it.
Okay,
Some of them
can
are.
I answer that?
So how do you choose
Yeah.
something, and you choose something but you don't even experience it? So what's the point choosing it? And but it's so traumatic for the parents, right? I mean,
Okay,
it
so
doesn't make sense.
here's a question for you, please.
We know the answer, but you have to take a comma. Okay.
One question for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Inside a 2-year-old child is a thousands of years old soul.
Yes.
How old is the soul?
But why is the soul choosing that plan? It's
Because the
choosing the
soul
plan
wants
to
to
That is
experience
experience.
there,
something,
that
right?
soul,
Let's
yeah,
look
that
at
is
it.
that soul's
Let's say that you got a
mission. That is
99
that
marks.
soul's path. It's not that soul alone, right? There is 5 to 6 different soul attached. I mean, working through some of their issues too. And maybe this baby, this child has come into this world to give some lesson to the parent, and it has to die, and the parent has to learn what grief is.
Exactly. So,
Can you
see, as a
understand?
parent perspective, learning grief, but from a kid perspective, right? Because it, for whatever the plan, it doesn't want to spend lot of time in Earth. Just only wants a short period of time. Then what is the best thing? You just come here and take some excuse like cancer, whatever it is, whatever accident, you can leave that because that is intentional. There is nothing that plan went wrong. It is by design. By design, because the as Pratibha madam said, right? Typically, yeah, many senior souls, they don't need a lot of life. See again, uh, asking all of these questions are valid, but take a pause. You can probably write down most of these karmic questions. I think we can answer because ultimately all of them falling under the same the fundamentals, the energy mechanisms, the soul design, those 6 laws, it fits in. We can explain through those concepts. It takes a little bit of time to just go through. Obviously, knowing is different from internalizing. It takes time to internalize those concepts. But once you internalize, you will get it. Right? So, uh, uh, I think you asked a lot of questions, madam, but now question is,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
I
whether this
understand.
answer is sufficient. No, no, no.
No.
I'm
We
not
definitely. I
questioning.
think there must
It's okay
be.
to ask questions. All I'm trying to say is, we don't know. Time is not sufficient to answer all of the questions.
Yes, I understand, and I totally respect your time. And it's been 2 hours, so I think, we all have stuff to get back to. And you guys being a few of you in the Eastern time zone, I think
Yeah.
it's
So
kind of
what we
getting
can do
late.
is,
So
yeah. So what we can do is park these questions. We'll come back again. We'll figure out again. We'll see. Maybe if
okay,
Friday evening is not working out good, maybe Saturday evening, something like that. Again, as long as
okay,
this is just a discussion. See, the good thing about this group is all of us are artistic. So it is no guilt. That is one thing. And we are looking at a spiritual lens. Because if I look at see, I'm part of many spiritual groups, but most other spiritual parents, they just come here for the time pass thing, or just for doing some seva thing, or it could be maybe some small problems, right? It's so difficult to compare. And here it is a group where everyone is safe. So it's much more easy. We can easily open up. So there is nothing wrong. Okay. So we'll have more conversations. Uh,
definitely.
Definitely more and more people. See, again, there are so many people in the group. I'm sure many people are more knowledgeable. Just because they don't chat doesn't mean that they're not knowledgeable. Some people open up late. Some people
Yeah,
opens up late. That's all it is.
but
So
thank you, Praveen and Pradeepa. I mean, this thing was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and everybody on the other side are very, very proud of us.
thank
Maybe
you.
not anybody here, but I guarantee that everybody from the other side are, I can even see now that they are all very, very, very proud of all of us, all of our children, our spouses. Yeah, because this is a very tough journey that we took it on for very different things, but we took it on and we are here. We are in the field doing the field work.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why a lot of people will be supporting us, but we just needed to be at a certain state to receive that support for asking questions. But yeah, I think we are continuing because this is such an interesting topic. We'll continue to talk through any longer. So I think we can end the conversation now because it's already 2 hours. So let's figure out another window. Maybe I'll post the recordings. I hope the recording is in decent shape because the first recording is okay. Maybe the beginning of a second recording we may have lost some time because I think there is something else. So I'll see, but definitely I'll post these 2 records. I'll try to put it in the Google Drive or somewhere. I'll post it there. once people have read through, listened to whatever it is, and we'll figure out our next schedule depending on a group's preference. Okay, so thank you everyone. Let's stop the share.